Welcome to today's video. Let's talk about a topic that's both fascinating and important: conformity and how it affects us more than we realize. Ever wonder why it feels so easy to follow the crowd, even when you sense something's off? That's what we're diving into today. This diagram shows how conformity offers psychological comfort but can lead to groupthink and suppress individuality. Suppressed individuality stifles creativity, while groupthink reinforces harmful norms. Stick with me as we unpack this cycle, explore why it happens, and, most importantly, learn how to break free from it. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll have a new perspective on what it means to truly stand out. Imagine being in a prehistoric tribe. Sticking together meant protection from predators and access to food. Those who strayed often didn't survive, so conformity became ingrained in our DNA. Even today, that instinct kicks in. Think about when you choose a busy restaurant over an empty one. Our brains still see crowds as a signal of safety and success. Conformity feels good because it gives us a sense of belonging. Being part of a group feels safe and familiar, like when you wear what's trendy or laugh at a joke everyone else finds funny, even if it's not that great. It's easier to go along with the flow than to stand out and risk rejection. Social proof is why you'll pick a product with tons of reviews over one with none. Herd mentality takes it further, where we adopt group behaviors without even questioning them. Ever start clapping because everyone else is, even if you're not sure why? It's automatic and shows just how deeply this runs in us. Every time you make a choice to fit in rather than stay true to yourself, a little piece of your individuality gets lost. Over time, you might even forget what makes you unique. It's like wearing a mask every day. You start to forget what your face actually looks like underneath. Conformity is the enemy of innovation. Imagine if everyone in history stuck to the same ideas. We wouldn't have airplanes, smartphones, or even pizza with pineapple. It's only when people challenge the norm that breakthroughs happen. The more we conform, the more we lose that spark of originality. One of the scariest costs of conformity is how it erodes moral responsibility. Think of historical atrocities. Many people went along with terrible actions because it was just the way things were. It shows how dangerous it can be when we prioritize fitting in over doing what's right. History gives us countless examples of how conformity has gone terribly wrong. This diagram outlines a few major cases. For example, slavery and other injustices persisted because societal norms reinforced them. The Holocaust highlights how blind obedience to authority, one form of extreme conformity, can lead to unimaginable harm. Even in business, groupthink has led to catastrophic failures, like when companies ignored warning signs because nobody wanted to rock the boat. These examples show why it's critical to question norms and think for ourselves. The first step to breaking free is self-awareness. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because everyone else is? When you recognize the forces shaping your choices, you regain control. It's like stepping outside the crowd to see the bigger picture. Don't accept something just because it's normal. Think of people like Elon Musk or Malala Yousafzai. Where would they be if they followed the status quo? By questioning what others take for granted, you open up possibilities that others can't even see. Standing out is hard, and it often feels uncomfortable. But remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. The discomfort of being different is a small price to pay for the freedom of being yourself. Being different doesn't mean being alone. Find friends, mentors, or communities that value who you are. They'll give you the support you need to stay true to yourself, even when it feels tough. Standing alone doesn't mean you're isolated. It means you've embraced your individuality and found strength in it. This diagram breaks it down. Standing alone starts with self-awareness, grows with resilience, and solidifies into authentic confidence. Self-awareness helps you identify what truly matters to you. Resilience teaches you to handle criticism and rejection, and confidence is about trusting your choices without needing external validation. These three elements feed into each other, creating a cycle of growth. Let's explore each one in detail to see how you can build them in your own life. Self-awareness begins with knowing what's important to you. Ask yourself, what do I value most? Is it honesty, creativity, kindness, or something else? When you define your values, it becomes easier to make decisions that align with who you are, no matter what others think. Pause and think. Are your decisions truly yours? We're constantly influenced by family, friends, and social norms. Being self-aware means noticing when outside forces are steering your choices and consciously deciding if you want to follow or not. Your quirks and differences aren't flaws. They are superpowers. Think about someone like Lady Gaga. Her individuality is what made her a star. Embrace what sets you apart, because that's where your true strength lies. Criticism can feel harsh, but it's not always a bad thing. Think of it like feedback on a project. It's information you can use to improve. Even when it's unfair, criticism helps you build emotional armor. Instead of taking it personally, ask, what can I learn from this? Resilience is like a muscle. You build it by pushing through discomfort. Whether it's trying something new or standing up for what you believe in, the more you face challenges head-on, the stronger you get. Think of every uncomfortable moment as a rep in your mental gym. Resilience is about how fast you recover after a setback. Picture a rubber band. It stretches but always snaps back. When you fail, don't dwell on it. Instead, focus on what you'll do differently next time and get back to work. Authentic confidence comes from trusting yourself, not from what others think. It's about believing in your decisions even when no one else does. Picture someone like Elon Musk. He bet on electric cars when everyone doubted him. Confidence means saying, I trust my gut and I'll prove it. Confidence isn't something you magically have, it's something you build. Start small. Did you make a tough decision today? Celebrate it. Every small win adds up, and over time, it reinforces the belief that you've got what it takes. Authentic confidence means knowing your worth without needing to shout it from the rooftops. It's like being a tree. You're firmly rooted, but you don't need to overshadow anyone else. Humility keeps confidence balanced and genuine. When you choose nonconformity, you're not just stepping away from the crowd, you're creating a ripple effect. This diagram shows the three big impacts of nonconformity: innovation, authenticity, and inspiration. Innovation means your ideas thrive because you're not afraid to think differently. Authenticity allows you to stay true to yourself, which builds trust and respect. And inspiration? That's where the magic happens. When you stand out, you encourage others to do the same. Together, these elements can change not only your life, but the world around you. Let's dive deeper into how this ripple effect works. When you stand out, you give others permission to do the same. Think of people like Greta Thunberg or Rosa Parks. Their courage to act differently inspired millions to follow. You don't need to be famous to create this effect. Your bravery in your own circle can spark change too. Nonconformity opens doors. When you bring unique ideas to the table, people take notice. Whether it's pitching a bold idea at work or starting a business that challenges the norm, stepping away from the crowd often leads to exciting, unexpected opportunities. Every time someone challenges the status quo, they reshape what's considered normal. Think of how social media influencers changed advertising or how startups disrupted industries. Your willingness to stand apart has the power to redefine what's possible, not just for you, but for everyone watching.